Casey Ashmore in the studio. We're trying a few different things, so I'm going to ask for your patience as you viewers bear with me during this experimental process. So we're going to tone things down a little bit and do things a little less formally. And thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hit that subscribe button if you would consider it. And we're going to do a dive into the presumption of innocence. And this is something that comes up in the practice on a regular basis. And, you know, we are fortunate that we have a dynamic team here, that our team gets to represent people who've got significant issues, you know, challenges facing them. And one of those issues is the defense of the accused in a criminal matter. And there's little else that can bring strain on and anxiety on an unprecedented level than being the singular target of an investigation by the U.S. government or the government of the state of Texas. And those investigations are brought through the subdivisions of each of those entities, and that's at the federal level through some three-letter law enforcement agency, usually the FBI, but occasionally the DEA or the IRS, or any one of the ATF, right? And through the state of Texas, through its various political subdivisions, the county and district attorney's offices in the county where the crime is alleged to have occurred, the investigating law enforcement agencies of those counties, the county sheriff's office, the local police department, and things of that nature. So, all that being said, the fact of the matter is I consider it and have always considered it an absolute blessing to represent the accused and to pay forward the opportunities and kindnesses that were given to me and to my family. And I consider it a great honor to be able to represent those accused and help them navigate. You know, in the practice of law, there's a lot of things that can be troubling. You know, civil litigation, you know, that's usually a business fight. And there's, you know, of course, probate and estate matters where those get into contested matters. And usually that's just a fight over money, just like a civil lawsuit, which is a fight over business opportunities or things of that nature. And money is important. Your property is critical. It's guaranteed in our Constitution that you have some rights to keep it, you know, of ownership, right? The whole idea of that you can keep what you have worked hard for, toiled for. But when you're talking about your liberty, your right to be free, to go have a catch with your kid at the end of the driveway, to call your mom on Sunday afternoon, to go to church and worship, and when those things are threatened to be taken away from you or taken away from you, this is in my mind when a prospective client truly understands the value and the reason why the presumption of innocence, and that's the focus of this video series, the presumption of innocence is so critical. And we're going to kind of do a deep dive on that presumption of innocence, why we have it, where it came from, why it's significant, how it's written into our state law, how long has it been a law. But one thing that is critical is that this is not a new concept. And there's a reason why that presumption has carried over centuries of time, going all the way back to Roman law, and even before that in the codes of the ancient Babylonians. I mean, we are talking thousands of years, so almost as long as human beings have been imposing the rule of law on each other. The presumption of innocence has existed, and the reason why is because when a singular person faces the great weight of the unlimited resources of the state or of the government, that person needs to be afforded something to equalize the playing field, to make sure that their rights are being respected. And like I said, we're going to do a deep dive on this presumption of innocence, where it came from, how it evolved, and what it means in our judicial system today. And then on the back end of that, what happens afterwards when the presumption of innocence is carried through to a finding of not guilty, and what happens when the presumption is carried through to a finding of guilt. So anyhow, very much appreciate you joining me for this little studio session, less formal studio session. And, please like, subscribe, and share. More to come on the presumption of innocence.